Morocco, long regarded as one of North Africa's most stable kingdoms, is witnessing an unprecedented wave of youth-led protests that have now turned violent on their fourth consecutive day. The unrest, which began as peaceful demonstrations calling for better economic opportunities, improved education, and stronger democratic reforms, has rapidly escalated into a broader confrontation between frustrated citizens and the state's security apparatus. Rising tensions in the streets. The protests first broke out in major urban centers such as Casablanca, Rabat, and Tangier, with students and unemployed graduates leading rallies. Their initial demands focused on tackling unemployment, currently at its highest level in over a decade, and addressing the widening gap between Morocco's wealthy elite and its struggling youth. However, as the days passed, the demonstrations expanded in both size and intensity. By the fourth day, several cities reported violent clashes. Protesters hurled stones and set barricades on fire, while police responded with tear gas, water cannons, and baton charges. Witnesses described chaotic scenes in Casablanca's central districts, where running battles between demonstrators and security forces left dozens injured. Youth frustration reaches boiling point. Morocco's youth make up more than half of the population, yet they remain disproportionately affected by economic stagnation. Official data reveals that nearly 1 in 3 young people are unemployed, while thousands of university graduates struggle to secure jobs in a labor market dominated by informal and low-paying work. "This is not just about jobs, it's about dignity," said Yusuf, a 23-year-old protester in Rabat. "We have been patient for years, but nothing changes. Corruption eats everything, and the government doesn't listen to us." Many analysts argue that the protests reflect long-simmering frustrations with systemic inequality, lack of political voice, and the slow pace of promised reforms since the Arab Spring era. While Morocco avoided the large-scale revolutions that toppled leaders in Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya, discontent has never fully disappeared. Government response and crackdown. Authorities have blamed extremist groups for hijacking otherwise peaceful rallies and fueling violence. The Interior Ministry issued a statement warning that acts of vandalism and attacks on public property will not be tolerated. At the same time, the government has attempted to strike a more conciliatory tone, promising to hold dialogue with youth representatives and outlining plans for new job creation programs. Still, critics argue that these pledges are too little, too late. Several human rights groups have condemned the security crackdown, calling on Moroccan authorities to respect the right to peaceful assembly. Videos circulating on social media show police beating protesters and dragging students into vans, sparking further outrage among citizens. A test for Morocco's stability. The escalation of violence has raised concerns both domestically and internationally. Morocco has long marketed itself as a hub of stability in a turbulent region, attracting investment and tourism. But prolonged unrest risks damaging that image and undermining confidence in the government. Diplomatic observers warn that the monarchy faces a critical test: either respond with meaningful reforms that address youth grievances or risk a cycle of repression and radicalization. "The anger in the streets is real," said one regional analyst. "If ignored, it could become Morocco's biggest challenge in decades." What lies ahead? As the fourth day of unrest comes to a close, the situation remains tense. Protest leaders have called for nationwide demonstrations to continue, while authorities prepare for an extended confrontation. Many Moroccans fear that violence could escalate further if neither side backs down. For now, Morocco's youth are making their voices heard louder than ever. Their protests have revealed not only deep economic hardship but also a yearning for dignity, justice, and a future in which they can believe. Whether the government can meet these demands, or chooses to suppress them, will shape Morocco's trajectory in the years ahead.